Hello everyone and welcome to the beginning of a series that was once humble and low-key, but then wound up becoming a sci-fi flick. Welcome to The Fast and the Furious, otherwise known in Japan as Wild Speed.
Which is going to get also awkward when we get to the movie that takes place in Japan.
Yes, anyway, they were going to start, of course, with the one that started it all back in 2001 called The Fast and the Furious, starring relative unknowns at the time, Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Michelle Rodriguez, and Joanna Brewster, among others.
Oh boy, Michelle Rodriguez. If I remember correctly, this is one of those movies that plays to the TV trope that I believe is named after her. But we'll get to that later.
It was directed by Rob Cohen, who would later go on to helm The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. And it was written by three people. Gary Scott Thompson, whose work I'm not that familiar with, although he did write the sequel to this film. Eric Bergquist, and of all people, David Ayer. Of
How interesting.
nowadays Fury fame and Suicide Squad infamy. Oh, and Bright. And in keeping with this series, it's gonna be us three for the most part. Me, Jova, and Zero.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, to start before the Universal logo in 3, 2, 1, click.
Even though it's a Blu-ray release, sadly, this is still the original Universal logo. I know, it's weird, but I just really love their newer logo with the added-on a bridge.
I don't mind this one. I mean, the theme's done by Jerry Goldsmith, so...
Oh, I like this too. It's just, I really like the addition added to the newer version of the Universal theme.
That was Brian Tyler. Blah.
Okay, folks, let the not quite 90s, but ever so 90s-esque early 2000s begin.
Oh yeah, this kind of rap music.
And this kind of title, The Fast and the Furious. And yes, folks, remember, it's The Fast and the Furious because, God help you, they named the fourth movie Fast and Furious. Also different titles, aren't they?
When I first saw the title, I thought it was a reboot. But no, it's not.
That's what a lot of people thought, apparently, back in the day. Apparently, it was considered a soft reboot, but honestly, the continuity was still there, especially heavily established by 5, so... Well, I guess when they say soft reboot, they were talking about the sort of genre it was slipping into.
The film apparently got re-released a few years ago because this was the film's 15th anniversary back in 2016. Christ, this film series has been going on for a while.
Oh yeah, nowadays in stores, there's a collection of all 8 Fast and Furious movies with a $15 off the ticket price of going to see Hobbs and Shaw.
We didn't get that. We haven't got the discount round here.
So we open up the film with a bunch of carjackers, well, not quite carjackers, but a bunch of thieves about to plunder a convoy truck.
And shoot at the driver. Oh, wait, where is the... Oh, there it is.
Big rigs over the road racing really got intense.
I forgot this was the US. The drive on the left-hand side of the car.
Needless to say, that truck driver ain't having any of this crap.
Are truck drivers round your end trained for this kind of stuff?
They can be. They're not necessarily trained for this, but let's just say they can be rather intense with their defense on hand.
Yeah. So yeah, this film was obviously a financial success. It cost only $38 million to make and made a grand total of $207.3 million, although it did get mixed reviews. Praise for the performances of the late Paul Walker and Vin Diesel and the action scenes, but criticism for parts of the story and the ending.
Oh yes, the ending. We'll get to that when we get to it.
We'll get there. So, we begin in Los Angeles.
Oh look, a Tokyo Drift car.
Ugh, we're not there yet. Alright. Interesting name that the composer of this film has. BT.
Huh.
Which to me as a Brit sounds like, wait, they got the telephone company to do a music score? But his real name's Brian Wayne Transo.
Yeah.
Who is mainly an electronic musician. So yeah, there's Brian, Paul Walker's character. Calm down, mate.
I like how that's the first spoken word of the movie.
Yeah, shit. Well, of these main characters anyway.
Yeah.
The first words of this movie were some guy giving instructions. But that's not nearly as exciting, so...
No, I'll admit, I have only really started seeing this film series like literally just a few weeks ago. In it, I have seen Fast and Furious first. Then I skipped ahead with my family because the resort we were at unfortunately did not have Too Fast, Too Furious. So instead, we ended up skipping over to Fast and Furious 3. That sucked and really put my mom off the series for a bit until she was willing to give Fast and Furious 5 a chance because they didn't have Fast and Furious 4.
So basically, you're doing the odd-numbered Fast and Furious experience.
So then we went back home and checked Netflix, and well, only the first three were available, so we saw Too Fast, Too Furious, which was actually pretty good.
I gave up halfway through.
I'd say give it a try. I can understand why you may not care for it. Ah, there's the man himself.
Ah yes, Vin Diesel, a man whose head is just as famously bald as his ego.
I'll say. And here's his sister, Mia, played by
Jordana Brewster.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when are they going to start jumping off a building? Yeah, that's a thing. Ever since, say, Fast 5, the series is now well known for being absolutely insane.
You
In
don't
a fun
say.
kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was 2001. We weren't really ready for.
Ah, there she is, the girl known for dying, but also being a strong female character, Michelle Rodriguez.
As Letty, Dominic's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the tone of this movie kind of makes it feel like it was made by like bloody MTV or something.
It really does feel like that, doesn't it? Well, MTV if they had a soul anyway.
Which I think it still did back then, maybe debatably. I don't remember.
Well,
You wouldn't be wrong.
yeah, it depends. Anyway, in terms of the history of this movie, the director was inspired to make the movie because he read a Vibe article back in 1998 about Racer X, which is about street racing in New York, and he was actually witness to an actual legal street race taking place at night in LA.
Interesting. So I guess you could say he got some of his info firsthand for this movie.
And the film was originally going to be called Redline, but it got changed to The Fast and the Furious because a certain Roger Corman licensed the rights of his 1955 film, which was also called The Fast and the Furious, to Universal.
Wow. So you're telling me we have Roger Corman of all people that partially paying for this?
For the title, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I can't imagine. I can only really imagine what a Roger Corman produced Fast and Furious film would be like.
Ah, Vince, with that typical 90s, nobody else pats my girl attitude.
Like watching this and thinking back to 8, which is very fresh in my mind. What happened?
The early 2000s were an interesting time, Shiroy. People were trying to convince themselves
I
that they...
didn't mean that in a bad way, but like it's a bit different.
Oh,
yeah,
it is,
Don,
yeah.
They are fighting right outside your property, so best go sort that out, mate.
And you probably own that bit of land anyway, so like, just
Yeah.
Either way, it's bad for business, so deal with that.
Yeah, break it up. I am Groot. Oh wait, we're not there yet.
Wait, what?
Oh.
Oh, right, Vin Diesel voice Groot.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
Yes,
I
that's
didn't
right,
know
Shuri.
that.
You're looking at the very man who portrays Groot in Vin Diesel.
Wow. That was unexpected.
The MCU is a special place, Shuri, where everyone eventually joins.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, the part of Dom was originally because apparently Universal would originally only greenlight the movie if they could get Timothy Olyphant to play him. Now, I like Timothy Olyphant as an actor. Yeah, I've seen him recently in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and he was good there for the small part he had. But I don't think he really can. He doesn't really seem to me to be the type to play this kind of character. Apparently, he thought so too and turned it down. So Neil Moritz, who was the producer of the series from this film all the way up until the 7th one, suggested Vin Diesel, who had to be convinced to take the role, despite the fact he'd only been playing supporting roles up till this point.
How interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, another thing that's kind of funny, while they were filming, well, before they started filming, Brewster and Rodriguez didn't have driver's licenses, so during production they had to take driving lessons.
Interesting.
Yeah, 2 of the stars of the movie didn't have your bloody driver's license.
It's a movie about car racing.
And you don't have your license.
They must have really needed Michelle Rodriguez bad for it.
I mean, to be fair, the characters aren't exactly doing anything legal while they're driving, so would it really matter?
I guess they don't want to get arrested for real.
Plus, I guess, Universal don't want to get in trouble for that either.
I
Lord
guess.
knows
It's
they
like
had
they're
enough
learning how to
controversies
drive
going on around
properly
the
just so
time.
they can drive like lunatics.
And also, bear in mind, Jover, this was pre-Comcast.
Uh-huh.
Yep, this is definitely 2001, alright. Everyone dressing like that, hanging out in huge crowds at night.
That's gonna be a thing in a lot of these movies.
And this kind of
Especially
music.
considering how silly some of those costumes get.
Oh, your mama.
Huh.
Just like I can't pronounce what the fuck is wrong with your mustache. A jaw rule? I thought it was jaw rule for a second. Let me check the cast list. Oh my god, that is
Ain't that
jaw
the
rule.
truth? Well, considering how this is a series that would eventually get Ludacris of all people as a mainstaying actor, it wouldn't surprise me who this series can get.
Yeah, jaw rule. Well, nowadays, I mean, at least to me, I never really liked his rapping, though, if I'm honest.
I kind of prefer Ludacris.
Oh, and he was also one of the co-runners of the Fire Festival.
Uh-huh.
There's 2 documentaries about that, so I won't go into it. So let's move on.
Like, usually when you see these kinds of scenarios, it's just like a couple of gangs of people. This is like a freaking block party. How do the police not know about any of this?
They're very organized. Also, Michelle Rodriguez, as usual, plays that girl who ain't gonna be having any of that crap, especially playing with her man.
Mm.
Yeah, Michelle Rodriguez had a bit of a type back then.
Well, she still does.
Yeah. Either expect her to die a lot, expect her to kick a lot of butt, and expect her to sometimes be kind of a meanie. Especially in the Resident Evil movies.
Ooh, pig slip betting. Oh yeah, this reminds me of when I was playing games on the PS2, such as the Need for Speed Underground and Juiced, where you can put up your car as a wager. Wait, you can get respect for driving around LA recklessly.
Surprisingly, in this series, a lot of people respect you if you can drive a good car.
Yeah, just very, nowadays the movie is best known as just being a flick with Vin Diesel in it, although Walker's actually the main character, although Diesel is just as important.
Yeah.
I know a lot of those extras here, because the film had a limited budget, and they had to borrow a lot of cars from actual enthusiasts of car tuning in and around LA, who were given background extras roles and consultancy roles.
Way to work within your budget.
You know,
For a movie made on its budget, it actually does look pretty good and convincing.
and apparently these characters are in them. Most of these characters are in their mid-20s. Vin Diesel was 34 when they were filming this.
So it's Dawson Creek casting.
Well, that's the case with a lot of this stuff, like getting people like far much older to play the characters.
Twins.
This kind of music is this kind of music is not aged well. My pizza up.
I'm just here for the usual bout of product placement.
Now give me your pizza.
So basically, they have it nice and coordinated to make it so that the police are looking elsewhere.
Yeah. This was also supposed to be just a spring of 2001 film.
Huh. Interesting.
But after a well-received screen test, Universal shifted it to the summer. I guess it helped that another film that Universal released during the summer of 2001 was Jurassic Park 3. This will go on to replace Jurassic Park as Universal's big cash cow up until Jurassic World came about.
How about that? Of all the things to replace the amazing Jurassic Park, a movie about some jackasses racing down LA with nitrous oxide, of course. Hello, everythings. I come to compete.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's interesting you say that, Joe, considering Universal owned the Crash Bandicoot series at the time. Well, the video game.
Maybe the
anyway.
nitrous oxide was a nice reference to Crash Team Racing.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's right, folks. Believe it or not, Universal did have a gaming division back in the day. Oh, speaking of which...
Hi, Gran Turismo.
Yeah. Cute.
Perfect timing.
So yeah, the Operation Distract the Cops was a success.
Uh-huh. Wow, it's even like a Crash Bandicoot racing game with the flames ejecting out for the revving up. And of course, CGI car parts!
Ah! Although it's still better CGI than The Mummy Returns,
Yeah.
which came out the same year during the same time frame and was also released by Universal.
Huh, makes you wonder what happened.
They lost, I don't know. Yeah, he just started the race. Ah!
Seriously, how did the police not see any of this?
Well,
They're distracted.
well, they said they're all the way on the other end of the city.
Did they send up like a group of people just to distract them over the other side so they
Yeah.
wouldn't find all this?
Apparently.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, yeah, a film about breaking the rules. Well, remember it was co-written by David Ayer.
Uh,
Ah, yes. Ja Rule, breaking the bank before he did the Fire Festival.
yeah.
But your car's gonna explode. Yep, see?
My god, I recognize those sound effects from Crash Bandicoot, though that's probably more of a coinky dink.
Well, I'm guessing...
I was wondering if I was hearing that exactly.
Well,
Oh, you heard it too.
Well, Universal have their own sound effects department.
Huh.
I mean,
Wow.
Crash used a lot of stock sound effects anyway, so it's like...
Yeah. It's just so
Because-
surreal. You know, I'm actually surprised we haven't got a Crash Bandicoot racing title parroting the title Fast and the Furious. I mean, like, even Tom and Jerry did that.
That would make a great pack in CTR.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, Activision, get on that. I mean, it used to be owned by Universal anyway, so...
Wait, Activision used to be owned by Universal?
Yeah.
Well,
Now I've heard
Vivendi,
everything.
Vivendi, who used to own Universal, yeah. But, yeah,
Y'all know how that ended.
stuff happened, and, well, yeah.
We know Activision have a lot of money. They take it from people on the regular, so pay for this.
Yeah. I mean, it should be easy money. So, yeah, of course, Dominic wins.
Well, he's Vin Diesel, if he doesn't win, he'll throw a fit.
Oh. And that's the last we'll ever see of that actor. Sorry, dude, but Ludacris is where the money is, apparently.
Ja Rule. Yeah. So long. I'm gonna go and star in a failed a failed jail flick with Steven Seagal.
Oh, no.
Have fun with it.
Half Past Dead, yeah. Yeah, but you didn't. Well, yeah, your car floor was falling apart. Get out of here. Exactly.
Oh, boy.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
Run!
Well, time to beast.
Yeah. What if someone says, sirs, we got a huge group of people driving away really fastly from the scene of the recently reported street race. Over.
We'll do what we trained for, dang it! Chase them all down!
But we've got like
Wow,
six.
they got back from the other side of town pretty quickly.
But we've only got like
That's
eight.
LA's finest for you.
But we've only got 8 cars in the whole LAPD.
Well, corner them. You should know these streets well enough.
Cornered them. We've got like 8 vehicles. They've got like
Well,
30.
Well, what I mean is like I'll corner them into a dead end. Then there's no escape.
Honestly, with how wide roads are in America, you ain't gonna corner shit.
Well, there's no roundabouts there either.
Yeah.
Mine, yeah. Well, the six car thing is a joke. I mean, look at the one.
Huh. How clever. The old escape into the parking lot garage.
Don't mind me, officer. I'm just parking my car. This is the trick I used in my GTA 5 playthrough. Parking your
Nice.
car, and it worked.
Heck, even Baby Driver used that trick.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Sir, did we see it? Yeah.
Oh my god, we're actually not that stupid. We're actually able to recognize him. Quick, take advantage.
I mean,
Gotta
when you're
get-
pretty prolific in this kind of scene, they're gonna know your face.
Yeah.
I gotta give it credit though. I mean, you know, for an early 2000s flick, that's actually a surprisingly smart portrayal for the police.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit, get in.
Now they're gonna be buddies.
And thus a friendship will be started. What better way to start than by helping someone escape the law?
Thank God it's not Judge Dredd they're running away from.
Wow, he really is good at that Tokyo drifting.
Well, aside from the... I thought he meant the cop, because I was thinking, wait, he crashed.
No. Brian is.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys,
I have to
please-
say
okay.
that car is handling pretty fine considering how its floor got blown out by the nitrous oxide.
Alright, guys, you have to be careful. We've only got $30-odd million. Don't wreck the car. No, I'm a cop. I mean, overnighters, eh?
Oh?
Well, yeah, we like around here in the UK, we literally have a show called 24 Hours in Police Custody. So yeah, overnighter.
So he had his little Cywis kid running on his file.
Yeah. What's Lompoc?
A prison.
Is it like a rough, like, is it an actual prison in America, or have they just made this up?
Let me check.
Well, it doesn't sound...
Oh, crap. Here are the police to ruin our emotional moments.
Because like Alcatraz gets used a lot, so like, wonder if
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
that
also
is
a
an
real
actual
prison.
place.
Well, it doesn't sound pleasant from his description.
See.
Oh yeah, a bit of a time discrepancy when it came to the release dates of this movie. The USA got it on the 22nd of June. We had to wait till the 14th of September for the film to come out round here in cinemas.
Anyway, yes, Lompoc is an actual jail.
Hmm.
One of the, a jail in California.
Yeah, well, yeah, it makes sense. They're in Los Angeles.
Oh boy, we're dealing with the Yakuza already?
But we're not in the...
Hey, it's that guy from Grimm. I can't remember his name, but I remember him from the Grimm TV series. He's a lot younger here. Huh.
Yeah, this is my new mechanic. Paula, no, Paula. Billy, Runner.
Yeah, it's totally his car now.
We just took Paul Walker, but we just twisted his name around real quick.
Would be a shame if something were to happen to it. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at our helmets. Yeah.
You know, the thought occurs that we actually left you with that vehicle intact.
Oh.
Easily rectified.
You were saying, Joe?
No, it's like I said, easily rectified.
Oh,
There we go.
oh.
Uh-oh. Yeah, there's nitrous oxide in there. Time to go.
Aye. Yep. Easily. I'm sure they'll be able to fix that. No problem, Joe.
No, I was talking about the bad guys rectifying the situation of leaving the car intact. Of course you did.
Ah, yes, the typical you slept with my sister, you bastard. Now I'm gonna wreck everything. Mind you, there is some pretty weird revenge. You bagged my sister, so I'm gonna bag your car. No, oh wait.
So hard that it blows up. Ah, crap, I can't let him know about my double life as an agent at Raccoon City. Huh.
Welcome to the Fast and the Furious concerts.
Yes, complete with making out girls, rock and roll, and of course a pissed off Dom at the people who kind of may have left him to rot.
Which one has nitrous oxide? Well, I haven't managed to.
Oh, hey,
unlock
Gran
him.
Turismo. Oh, yeah, I've unlocked him.
I'm no good at it.
I have digital entropy unlocked, and it was a pain.
Beer's overrated. Cider's much better.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, look at that, a nerd who can get laid.
Nerd. Yeah, but I got laid. What happened? What have you got?
And for good measure, he's gonna give him Vince's beer.
Any brew you want, but only let you get a brand of it because fuck you. Although actually, he did save my life, so here, have a beer. And he drinks it right in front of him, looking at him.
Savor it, enjoy it, relish in Vince's displeasure.
You drunk my beer, man, but...
First you had my girl, now you drink my beer? Oh,
Talk about kicking a man while he's down.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of these people are some of the most pettiest people ever. Yeah, they'll get angry when you give them their beer or you beat them in a race.
Or you dare try and make the moves on their man.
Like, it's none
Even
of
if
your
it's just so
bloody
much as saying
business.
hi.
Well, I mean, to be fair to the last one, if someone's trying to make moves on your partner, you know, like anyone
True.
would be a bit pissy about that, but the
I don't
rest of
think-
it,
I don't
come
think
on,
there are-
guys.
I don't think there are partners anymore.
What? Dom and Letty? Who knows? Please, you do this anymore and I'll end up breaking up with you and making out with him.
Right in front of your face.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
In fact, I'll bang him right in front of you, and you'll have no choice but to watch.
Well, I mean, you do have the choice, but if you want to stand there, that's on you.
Yeah.
Hey, I only spent 12 hours playing Smash Bros. Melee.
Was that out in 2001?
I think it was. It was definitely around the 2000s.
It was a game. Was it a GameCube game?
It was
Yeah.
on GameCube, yeah. Well, cops again.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Smash Bros. Melee was released in 2001.
Hmm.
Same year as this game.
See, I thought that was the time that the first Smash Bros. Game came out.
No, that was 1999.
Hmm.
For the Nintendo 64.
Oh, so they're arresting him.
But for what?
Your haircut.
Oh.
But yeah, so yeah, he's actually a cop.
Yupperoo.
You know,
I'll admit, my mom actually managed to call this plot twist a bit earlier on.
you know, I get the feeling that Vin Diesel and co aren't going to be too happy if and when they find this out.
Oh, come on, Dwibs. He's just an undercover cop who could very well rattle into their operations.
I mean, it kind of makes sense because when you look at him compared to the rest, he kind of stands out.
He's a little too clean, if you say.
Yeah.
Oh boy, the Sector. No, not him, the black guy. He'll actually show up in another movie as well.
The next one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is how this eventually ridiculous and grandiose series started. People, DVD player theft.
Yep. From big rigs, mind you, but still, nonetheless,
Yeah.
DVD theft.
So this is
Oh,
actually a bit of
boy.
a huge ring that these the fellows have got on their hands, and they're going to try their best to try and stop them.
Needless to say, the truck drivers are going to start taking things into their own hands, no matter how violent. And that could spell chaos on the streets.
Ha 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 ha! Time magazine. No, I mean, come on. I mean, hijacking trucks. I mean, what do you think this is? The fifth film? Actually, I can't remember if they do hijack trucks in the fifth film.
Or big rigs over the road racing, according to the description of that game.
That won't be out for another 2 years, though.
Good Christ, that game was awful. So
I know.
it was that young, well, compared to this, and it was so bad.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, look at it like this. It's in better shape than the green one, at least.
I don't think you can tow your car across the finish line. I'm pretty sure that's against the rules. Yeah, so the thing about this, I think a problem this movie has, at times it can be rather overbearing with the with the
Slang,
car
the
jargon.
dirtiness.
The Carlingo.
Yeah, the car lingo and the car jargon.
I guess to be fair, it's a movie about cars. I guess to be fair, that's like coming to a basketball movie and complaining about the basketball lingo. It's like, you get what you pay for.
I
That
guess.
said, though, I guess to be fair, the later movies did sort of calm down with the car lingo.
Well, I think Dwebs's like point is that it's a little too overbearing in this movie.
I
Yeah,
guess it does depend. Like on the one hand, it is a Cars movie. On the other hand, I can see what you mean. And like, well, as a definite early first movie, you can tell that some of this does leave you kind of scratching your head, wondering how much of this is actually legit.
mm, of so £2. I thought they were talking about in money, but no, they're on about weight.
Uh, oh, goody ADD. Any young adult slash kid slash teenager slash whatever is worse night
I thought it was bad.
own.
I thought it was bad grades. Like he just said, yeah, he dropped out of school and he failed almost everything.
Well, that was because of the ADD. It's funny though, when he focuses on, machines, especially with automobiles, it helps calm him down. As someone who suffers from ADD, I can tell you it's different for everyone else who has it. I'll just put it like this, it makes focusing on stuff you don't want to do all the more tough and frustrating.
It's a tough and
Vince,
frustrating.
join. I'm totally not gelling on your new friend.
Honest man.
Wow, he literally is letting off steam. That
Speaking of
barbecue looks good.
speaking of steam, here, let's make something on a rusty looking barbecue.
Ah, it looks so good. Oh, what's
Anyway,
missing is some ribs.
there's the thumbnail.
Dandy.
I haven't put the specific year on it, just to be sure.
Everybody say grace. Grace!
Yeah. We don't we don't do that around here. At least I don't think we do.
Uh-huh.
Or at the very least, I've never come across any family, fictional or real, in the UK that's done this.
What, you mean praying to the Holy Spirit for the gas exhaust and everything about the car gods?
Yeah, and the food too. We just eat it. Yeah, I gotta eat. Otherwise my beard won't grow anymore. Huh. Yeah, haven't shaved that head yet, old man. But I'm 25. Fuck you. You look 30. All this food and drink is making me hungry and thirsty.
I know the feeling. Anyway, Vince here is played by Matthew Stephen Schultz.
Can't say I know
He's
who
an
he is.
American actor and musician, go figure.
They cast a lot of musicians in this movie. That guy, Ja Rule.
Uh-huh. Hey, he would also go on to be in Blade 2 as Choppa.
Oh, good, the one of the two good ones.
Uh-huh. You're totally not compensating for something, is he, Shiroi?
Nope, not at all.
Oh!
Oh. Oh, you look so happy as well.
Consider yourself dumped. Wow.
Whose
Oh,
house
something
even
you
is it?
did.
Is it his or hers? Like,
Hers.
oh.
Yeah.
Well, at least he didn't just get dumped in his own house.
Oh, that would have just been the.
It's her house, so it's fine.
Yeah. Wow, free of everything. That's a pretty tall order. Free. And it happens to be free cars that tend to be jacking those trucks.
Very different shift in soundtrack right here.
Yeah, I know. Looks like someone's got some snooping to do.
Yes.
As the ever 90s 2000s music plays in the background.
While also having this ominous music playing.
God, I love the early 2000s. They are exceptionally weird, but I wouldn't trade them for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going Terminator with the soundtrack.
Okay, what have I missed?
Basically, we're snooping. Also, you missed the part where Mia dumped Vince and basically asked him about that special restaurant he wanted to take her to, and then she told Brian right in front of him that he could take her there instead.
But I guess he's not very happy about it.
Nah.
Well, he had just had a
Wait,
hissy fit, but
he-
now he's kind of gone right to 11.
He moans
Oh,
like
boy.
a cop, eh? I can explain. Can't I just say yes?
I'm not sure if this is good cop, bad cop, or bad cop and worse cop.
Let's say good gangster, bad gangster.
Which one's which?
Well, you know what they say, Shiroi? Don't mess with Vince in the dark, because the dark is where he shines.
Race Wars. I wonder if that was going to be one of the film's titles too.
It's like Robot Wars.
So where's Craig Charles then? Or Dara O'Brien?
Yes! No.
If you lie to me, I'll shoot you in the balls.
That sounds very painful.
You have to repeat everything he says, you know, mate. I'm pretty sure he can hear him.
He just wants to remind everyone that he is the one who's up top next to Dom.
I don't think he appears in any more movies after this one, though.
He's there in Fast 5.
It's been a while since I've seen Fast 5, though.
So what's your favorite Fast and Furious movie, Shiroi and Dwibs, respectively?
7.
I won't be able to answer that yet until a lot of these are fresher in my mind.
Fair enough. Huh, so your favorite's 7? Let me guess, it's because of Jason Statham.
Well, yeah.
I'm actually surprised they didn't start this off with Jason Statham. Then again, I guess Jason Statham hadn't really gotten his whole shtick about cars until the Italian stunt job.
Italian Job.
I thought it was called the Italian stunt job, or is that just the name of the roller coaster?
Roller coaster, probably. Anyway, round here in the UK, is the Fast 5's just called Fast and Furious 5 because we're boring.
Uh-oh. Ooh, Panasonic DVDs.
Ah, this was back when DVD players were really valuable and they were going to be heisted
Yep.
a lot.
I remember when people were unsure whether or not DVDs were going to be the new big thing.
Yeah. This movie really does scream 2001.
It does. All it's missing is a Space Odyssey reference.
Your hair, that's what's wrong. What's the difference?
The amount of engine.
You know, if you need him and all, he's probably not be able to talk much if he's got
Tar.
oil, it looks like.
Which means one lit match, and that ain't gonna be pretty. as
Yeah, but
Dark Knight showed.
but it's also going to burn all their cars.
Not necessarily. It's not one of those movies where every car is a Pinto and easily explodes. Kick him while he's down.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be the stereotypically angry all the time cop, although I guess by 2001 that trope was pretty much dead.
Mm-hmm.
All we have so far is a guy with motor oil in his mouth, and that's about it. Is it me or does that guy look like Jack Nicholson on the right?
He does look a bit like him. Though the face isn't quite all there. He's definitely got the hairdo, though. Uh-oh. Ha! Oh!
Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't be. Although I may be taking out his sisters to dinner.
Imagine trying to
We
explain
have
that.
around an hour of this left, so we'll see.
Imagine trying to explain that to the public. Excuse me, but why do you have a black eye? A cop hit me. But you're a cop as well. Why'd you do that? I insulted. I took a jibe at him about his girlfriend. Our tax dollars at work, ladies and gentlemen. Also, is it me? Or are the LAPD the most laid back when it comes to dress code?
You'd be surprised. Then again, I guess to be fair, one of those guys isn't even LAPD, he's from the FBI. And Brian's out there in disguise, so yeah.
Again, having watched the recent films...
muscle car. Huh?
It's so weird. Having watched a lot of the recent films, going back and watching this one is it gives me a little bit of movie whiplash.
Well,
that's what I
yeah.
was saying earlier, and I haven't even seen all of the movies.
Yeah. Like 4 movies later, these guys are going to be power sliding under lorries and driving off cliffs.
And dragging a giant safe and using it as a weapon on a bridge. That's the farthest I've
Also,
done.
the entire, I think it was New York scene from 8.
Oh boy.
Jesus Christ.
Again, who would have thought that just a bunch of street kids would go on to be all that in a bag of chips?
Superheroes, pretty
Complete anarchy.
And how, with Hobson Shaw, and apparently they're going to be making a couple of other spin-offs. This is pretty much Universal's answer to the MCU.
Wow. Although, how much is Hobson Shaw going to go for, I wonder?
Not sure yet. Although that's the thing, though. Originally, the Dark Universe was going to be their answer to the MCU, but that didn't go very well. So instead, we're going to use one of our IPs that actually was successful.
So yeah, Damier has a bit of PTSD because this is the car his father used to drive before a big crash. That, needless to say, killed him. Oh yeah, and speaking of which... Uh-oh. Now, why did he nearly beat a man to death? Wow. How noble. I'm sure you'll never end up having to use that car. Ever.
Never,
Ever!
ever, ever.
Totally not in the climax of the movie.
I mean, he's traumatized from using it ever again.
He's going to have to rush in with it.
So anyway,
I
apparently
mean,
Hobson,
that's just a guess.
as of the time of this recording, Hobson Shaw has made $350 million on a budget of 200.
So, huh. Wait,
Well,
on
the
a budget
movie
of
hasn't been out
200
for very
million?
long.
True, yeah.
Apparently they'll have to gross 600 million to break even.
Yeah.
Whoa. I mean, honestly, from what I hear, it's a good film, but I guess it being a spin-off may have told some people that they could just wait until DVD to see it. I don't know.
Or just wait till Fast and Furious 9. Plus, it doesn't help that they were surrounded by a lot of big budget Disney flicks.
Oh yeah, especially Lion King, which is at this point made over $1 billion and is now one of the highest grossing films of all time already.
Yeah. Well, except Spider-Man: Far From Home. That's not a Disney flick.
Well,
It's
not
Sony.
completely anyway.
It was made by
It's
a
weird.
Disney-owned studio, but it was released by Sony.
Yeah. So yeah, it turns out Mia can drive pretty well too.
Yeah, another thing as
Oh
well,
boy.
for a movie called The Fast and the Furious, it's actually got a rather less fast pace.
Oh, Brian, about going native. Is this what we call going native? I think it very much is. What do you think, guys?
What, banging the main character's sister.
The guy who's a suspect's sister in bed. Totally not going native.
Would have been even funnier if it was at his house. Or
Oh god.
Dom's, I mean.
So yeah, basically, Bilkins is pushing for them to hone in on the suspects, and now they're gonna do just that. Johnny Tran's crew. Of course, he's going to wear a mask to keep his identity secret.
Yeah. Honestly, Joe, the show Rodriguez hasn't really been in a whole lot of this movie. Mostly just been standing around kissing Vin Diesel and doing some stuff, I guess.
Doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh well, maybe we're about to see some more of her.
I don't know what this film's age rating was here in the UK. Let me check.
Well, I see. Vin Diesel was
Probably a
enjoying the view
15.
there. They always run. Wow, that was an epic tackle.
15, there you are. Strong language and moderate action and violence.
Huh. I think it was PG-13 over here. Yeah,
Funnily enough, Joven,
PG-13.
that's
Yeah?
the equivalent of a 12 round here, yet around here it's rated 15.
Huh. How about that?
Yeah.
Can you tell this was made in 2001?
What would ever give you that idea?
Oh, snap. Your father is very disappointed in you.
Also, I love that cop was like, he was looking at him like, weird, man.
Well, that's a job well done. Oh, and suddenly we're looking up at the sky from Toy Story.
You know, this is the most swankiest looking police station I have ever seen.
Pretty neat, huh?
I mean, it's a pen. It's a fancy pad.
You'd be surprised. Unfortunately, it looks like the DVDs were actually bought legit. Uh-oh.
Like, this is the kind of place you'd expect FBI agents to own. Like,
Almost.
So yeah,
Well, they are working with an FBI agent.
so he's pinning all of this on him.
Good old LAPD and FBI relations.
Yeah. If you don't get me, my man, you're fired.
Now, it's funny because Bilkins is actually a nicer guy in the sequel, which is kind of ironic given the circumstances.
That was the one that introduced Tyrese Gibson to the series, wasn't it?
Oh, he is awesome in this series, at least from what I've seen so far. I've seen him in...
Mind you, his actor's apparently also the biggest whiner out of all of them.
Really?
Yeah, he keeps whining about other actors getting spin-offs, not him or something like that. I can't remember
If not only
exactly,
Hobbs
but
and Shaw got
you
a
put all this
spin-off.
testosterone in one room, you're gonna get some whiners.
yeah.
True that. So yeah, it's probably not Hector. It's probably not Tran. Maybe it's the guy who he is totally not becoming friends with. But Dom wouldn't do that, would he? Oh,
Gotta
sweet,
rat out your
honorable
friend.
Dom.
I mean, we all know where this is going, so.
Now let's give this new car a test drive. Tuh. You have my permission to.
Show off. Alright, everyone, 3, 2, go. Yeah.
Complete with sunglasses and everything.
Yeah. Wow, this is it's like GTA now.
Yeah. Before GTA, in a sense.
Yeah, now you're riding on the wrong side of the road.
Has there been a Fast and Furious video game?
I think there was. Not sure though.
Surprised I haven't heard of them more often. Like, if ever there's a movie series that you think would be a slam dunk to easily make into a video game franchise, it would be Fast and Furious.
I think at most it's gotten like skins in other games.
Again, Activision, get on that with Crash.
You like money, Activision? People will pay for this.
Yeah. You and me, we're not too different.
I like cheeseburgers as much as you do. Hmm. This weirds me out, man.
Ah, yes. Here we go.
You know he's gonna kill you when he finds out.
Ah, yes, the iconic race wars, where the climax will surely unfold.
Hello and welcome to
What looks to be an abandoned airport. With a massive heat wave that'll put anyone who's not willing in a coma. And cheesecake too, I see.
this place is gonna run up a large water bill, I think.
Ah, yes, an old closed government area. Please do not storm it. Yo, Michelle. Obviously pondering how the hell she got herself roped into those Resident Evil movies, but I digress.
Huh. Yeah, vroom,
I
vroom.
was actually gonna talk about how, the female characters are actually involved with all this shit. And then there's, that token jackass that just popped up right on cue.
Yep, here we go.
Yeah, draw. Oh.
And fuck you.
Draw.
Those driving lessons really did come in handy.
Now pay up, jackass.
Yupperoo.
I don't have the money.
But I just saw it in your hand.
I mean, it could be fake money.
Well, then he'd be in trouble. Huh. So basically, Jesse bet his own father's car, and he's racing against Johnny Tran. Oh boy.
That guy is so screwed. Boom, boom.
I mean, he's only going up against one of the most sadistic guys in this movie. What could possibly go wrong? Also, dude, rule number 1 of Fast and Furious: do not blow your nitrous oxide tanks early.
He even said too soon.
Oh boy. Screw this crap, I'm out. Jesse?
He's trying to escape.
Nah.
Uh-oh.
Security. Calm down, man. All I did was make an accusation.
Oh. Wow. Guess that's Michelle making up for not doing much earlier.
You sure that was Michelle Rodriguez?
Yeah, that was Letty. I mean, what other main girl aside from me isn't there to punch someone?
Ladies, please.
Okay, I guess you're innocent.
Oh, party time.
Yeah!
And suddenly, now we're at synth?
Back when glow sticks were the rage.
Well, this was scored by an electronic musician.
Oh, I can tell. Mm-mm. So, in a surprising twist of events, folks, the climax will actually not be taking place at Race Wars, even though this movie has kind of been setting itself up to be a racing movie.
It's kind of predicting the franchise, isn't it?
Huh, yeah.
From like the fifth film onwards, yeah. Yeah. And I need to stop this shit.
And I slept with you. Oh my god. Yeah, Georgiana Brewster's acting was a bit off kitsch back then. You bastard!
I mean, she doesn't have to believe anything at the moment.
I mean, you kind of lied to her, and well, let's just say when you lie to a woman after you sleep with them, oh boy, you are in so much trouble, no matter which side of the line you're on. Help me to help him before he makes the biggest mistake of his life.
Pissing the rock off.
Aside from that.
Yeah, we're like 7 movies away from that. It's interesting. 2 years before this film, he was in She's All That, where he played a
Paul Walker?
Paul Walker, where he played a high school jock, pretty much, I think.
Oh God, he was in that movie.
And bear in mind
Wow,
that film was script doctored by M. Night Shyamalan.
to go from M. Night Shyamalan to this, wow. I mean, a lot of people in that movie went on to quite interesting places, including Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard.
I think I should. I might show Shuri that film sometime if she's interested.
Hmm.
Would you be, Shuri?
Sure.
Imagine, Shiroi, a romantic comedy that's actually good, ghost written by M. Night Shyamalan of all people.
It's an interesting combination. I felt an M. Night Shyamalan ghost written movie about Freddie Prinze Jr. and Tifa's voice actress at a high school with Paul Walker and it being scored by the Spyro composer.
Wow.
That sounds like. Wow.
Yeah, that's an amazing combination.
Yeah.
Also, there are actually a lot of good rom-coms. Unfortunately, it's one of those genres that gets buried in a shower of shit.
Yeah.
I know,
So-
right? I'll admit, I was not expecting She Saw That to actually be good, but it was. So yeah, Dom promises that after this last heist, it'll be a nice long vacation for everyone.
Well, yeah.
Just one day left of retirement.
Well, yeah.
Never give the last heist speech, for goodness sake.
Well, yeah. After this, he won't be in another Fast and Furious movie for 5 years.
Goodness
He
gracious.
said he'll go on to make such classics as Triple X and that Disney movie.
Which
Well,
Disney
he
movie?
was
Play
he
the
was
babysitter.
technically in Fast and
Oh.
Furious 3.
That's what I meant, 5 years.
Oh God! Wow, talk about quite a spread.
Yeah.
I mean,
2006
nowadays
was
in
the year
this.
that nearly killed a lot of series.
Wow, Jesus Christ, you're right.
3 was Tokyo Drift, right?
Tokyo Drift is not necessarily an ungodly bad film. Okay, it kind of is, but it has some good things about it. The main problem is the main protagonist, and okay, they kind of take a little too much advantage of the fact that it takes place in Tokyo to be all random.
Oh dear, really?
Shiroi, you know how some of the costumes that girls wear in this movie are a little out there? Wait till you get to Tokyo.
Oh dear.
We'll get to that.
Guys, is it wise to be doing this out in broad daylight?
The Fast and the
Granted.
Furious. Bunch of dumbasses.
Well, as
The
Mia did
dumb
say,
and the dumber.
yeah. So, usual job as usual.
What studio makes Dumb and Dumber, actually? Let me check.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Yeah,
Who's the
remember how
driver?
they said the truck drivers may actually be trying to have better self-defense?
Yeah.
Yeah, how about a shotgun?
Oh, it was New Line Cinema.
Oh my.
Well, they did the first film. Then they did the second. And then Universal did the other second one.
Hmm.
Come on, then!
Oh snap.
Well, yeah. Not too long after I say that Michelle Rodriguez hasn't really done all that much in the movie.
Yeah. It's like the movie knew this commentary would come and staged it just this way.
Yeah, it knew that 18 years from then this would happen.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the movie hasn't really been about her, so it makes sense that she hasn't done a whole lot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that would have to wait till 4 and 5. And 6 to an extent.
Well, needless to say, the truck driver is prepared for this now. And when they want to get violent, ooh.
He's about to lose an arm.
If he doesn't lose more than that, he's lucky.
His life.
And his head.
Well, he loses his head, he loses his life.
Unless he's incredibly lucky. Oh, wait, no, that's right. We're not in the future Fast and Furious films yet.
See, they drive under trucks in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they don't power.
Oh, boy.
They don't drift under the trucks, though, Shiri.
I realize I don't think we ever see Leon again after this movie.
He was driving back for Letty, but he got lost and
No, there he is, just fine.
he suddenly died of thirst.
But he's pulling her out just fine.
It's an extremely delayed reaction.
What, about like 400 hours?
Yes, it happens.
The irony. I'm going to save the guy who nearly threatened to kill me several times.
Well, yeah, I mean, who'd be able to hang around that car on the outside forever and ever?
Yeah, unless you're Spider-Man.
Even then, Spider-Man, I think, has his limits.
Uh-oh, he's reloading.
Wow, this is some amazing truck driver being able to reload a shotgun and drive at the same time.
Hey, some truckers are prepared for this stuff, believe it or not. Don't mess with a trucker. They are in command of an 18-wheeler giant vehicle, and they will protect it with their lives, considering how that's kind of their job. Driving stuff cross-country and protecting it.
Around here, I think they're called HGVs.
Do they come as massively protected, I wonder?
Depends on what they're carrying.
Don't die on me, Glove. I know you tend to die a lot in movies, but for once, don't die.
Ooh, Michelle Rodriguez.
I'll try. Yeah, again, she has a thing for dying. In fact, she herself even had a quote on this, so let me check and see if I can find it. Ah, yes. People can call it typecasting, but I pigeonholed myself, saying no to the girlfriend, saying no to the girl that gets captured, and eventually I just got left with the strong chick who's always getting killed. Quote Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh. Now yeah.
Well, it'll save his life. But on the other hand, well, Dom does have a bit of a temper. Don't.
Your mate's dying here, mate. I think you could wait a bit.
Yeah, he's restraining himself. You'll be fine, Vince. You may have to kind of go into a bit of police custody, but you'll be fine medically.
Just as long as Vin Diesel doesn't find you.
Uh-oh. I have to go now. My brother needs me. By the way, if you happen to fall in love with a woman in the next movie, don't come looking for me.
How am I gonna get home?
You have a car, dude. It's orange, remember?
I don't know where it is. I don't see it anywhere in the shot.
Don't worry, eventually the cameraman will focus on there we go.
So you better not cross Vin Diesel again, then.
About that. Uh-oh,
Oh, yeah,
he's
sure.
got the muscle car.
Drive straight to his house. That's a good idea.
Well, he probably would have gone to escape. Yeah, and we never see Leon again. Oh. Not now, sis. I'm having a stand down.
Oh.
Oh, hey, Jesse.
Ah.
Uh.
Oh. Is Vin Diesel auditioning for Spider-Man?
I wonder. Well, I don't think we can help him now. Yeah.
Hey, this ain't my fault, man. It was his fault.
Go get them.
Yeah, I'm a cop. I got the power of, badge.
Oh boy, it's time to break out that car that used to give him PTSD. The car that he'll be famous for driving soon now? Of course, the muscle car.
I don't know
What
the
a
specific
shock.
make, but
I guess he finally got over that PTSD. That or he's just blind mad with rage. Might be more of the latter.
this is the fucking police. Pull over.
You're not wearing a police cop.
I'm not wearing a cop.
Hey, look, I'm not thinking straight, alright?
Pull over to the side of the road.
Whatever. Eat lead!
You know, you should watch where you're going.
Yeah, and you should watch where I'm shooting.
It would have been funny if he turned around and was like, ah, and hit something. Yeah, now the pace is starting to pick up.
Yeah, kind of close to the end. Again, weirdly enough, this movie that was about car races is now more like a car chase.
It's gonna get a lot more bigger later on in the series.
I think this may have to do with why the ending is a bit lopsided, but we're getting there, don't worry. Ah, it's the old sandwich in between trick.
Shaky camera is shaky. Like, very shaky
Well, they
camera.
are driving.
Oh.
Oh.
I
Yep.
know, but even by the standards of scenes like this, that's very shaky.
Well, shaky
Oh
cam is one
no!
of Rob.
Agent Woo!
Well, shaky cam is one of Rob Cohen's trademarks, for better or worse.
Don't worry, I think he's okay down there. He's just probably going to be living the rest of his life with a body cast.
Well, maybe his arm and leg in a cast.
Ooh!
Oh. Maybe I should have swerved or something.
That looks like it's going to leave a mark. Oh yeah! It left the ultimate mark. He dead.
What did he die from? The bullet wound or crashing?
Probably a combination of the bullet wound and the crash.
I call what?
911!
I thought I heard you say no. So I called
It's the easiest number to recognize. I'm a cop!
Okay, 900. I'm not prank
Okay.
calling you.
Alright. So, how to cap this film off?
Driving.
This is where the movie gets a little weird.
A standoff.
I could just arrest you, but I guess I want to beat you.
Yeah, I could just shoot your tire.
Nah, there's pride in this.
But I'm a cop. I should arrest you.
I have learned from last time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the grand race. Orange car versus black muscle car.
We're sorry that we may not be car experts, so we can't go be too more specific, but there seems to be a diesel train coming on the way. I do believe this may be bad timing.
Well, that's a level crossing.
Yeah. Now this, yeah, I mean, hey, if anything, this film teaches us one of the big morals. Stop at a level crossing when the gate's shut.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh dear. Maybe you should slow down there, Diesel.
It's like the end is half a mile away, but there's a level crossing, but I'm not going to tell you about that.
Yeah, that's why he was cast in the movie. His last name's Diesel, and it's about cars.
And there's a diesel train that could easily crush them both.
Okay, welcome to...
Whoever doesn't get crushed by the train is the winner.
It's not worth it. It's a train.
And the winner gets to pay for the loser's funeral costs.
Yeah.
That seems like a fair trade.
And... Oh,
Unbelievable! It's a tie!
that stunt must have been hella risky to pull off. Implying it was... oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you avoid the train, but you fail to notice the giant green truck.
They were too distracted by the fact that they missed that train.
Yeah. Again.
This kind of stuff always happens.
Watch the fucking road, you idiot. Now look at you.
What did you have in mind, Dom? I'm actually curious to see how that played out in your mind.
Again, they were genuinely too shocked by the fact that they missed that train that they just did not see that coming.
You never see it coming.
So there was a
So, yeah, the cops are arriving.
But Brian... Okay, the other cops are arriving.
Yeah. So, yeah. Here you go, bro.
Yeah, besides, I'm going to be in the next film. You need to get out of here.
Yeah.
For now.
Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go away and star in a mediocre Extreme Bond ripoff series.
Good luck with that.
Until
I'm just
my
gonna pose for the camera now and remind everyone
until
that I am the main star of this series.
until my film career goes so badly, I have to come back to this one. In fact, you can say that about almost everyone in the cast.
And that's the end. Okay.
It is a bit of an abrupt ending.
Yeah, this was a major point of criticism, and I can see why. Like, okay, never mind the fact that we immediately go from avenging the death of Jesse to just drag racing, but we don't even really see much of the repercussions of him letting Dom go, let alone the fact that, yeah, it's incredibly abrupt, and they kind of do leave a few plot threads hanging there, noticeably. Now,
Do they
of
get
course,
resolved in the second movie, or
yeah,
only
for the most part.
Only Paul Walker's in the second movie, though.
Let me basically sum it up like
Mhm.
this, Jory. He's in deep crap for letting Dom go. It's to be assumed Mia got away with him. And yeah, other plot threads, if they're left hanging, I believe get resolved in other sequels.
Oh yeah, I recognise Rick Yoon, a name that was just passed. He was in Die Another Day.
Huh. Wow.
that's a
Levine,
movie
of
that
course.
exists?
Yeah. Ugh. But anyway, that was The Fast and the Furious. I'll go first in my final four. So hi, British Telecom. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's as far as films that start a major franchise go, it's not the best. I mean, there was the pretty dodgy ending and the really on and off pacing, but it's fine. That's the best. That's all I can say really about it. It's just fine. I mean, there's much better movies than this, but as we'll see, not too long from now, there are much worse. So, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'll say this right now, 2, while it was hated at first, is becoming more liked, and I can see why. 2 has a much better consistent pacing than this, and actually, I'd say messes its racing with its overall car action better, too.
I hope it does. I couldn't even finish that one.
I guess if you watch it with a different mindset and with friends, it's easier to get through, like a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well.
All right, then. Shiroi, how about you go next?
All right. Much like what Dwib said, it's good enough. I mean, any problems it does have follows a lot of first in series or franchise problems.
Yeah.
There's nothing particularly why would they do that kind of thing with this movie, but the ending is a bit abrupt. I get it, but it just kind of ends. It doesn't really it isn't very seamless with the ending. That's the only real issue here. And I mean, the plot itself is for this kind of movie, it follows a pretty predictable structure with, these kinds of movies. Really,
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to predict, and they probably wanted to play it safe, I guess, for a first in series / franchise kind of thing.
I'm guessing, to be fair, in 2001, a lot of these weren't seen as the cliches that they are as well.
I guess, yeah. But still, it was a decent enough movie. It was fun to watch. So yeah, Jova?
Yeah, this being my second time I've seen this film in recent time. Yeah, I consider it a nice and fun movie. Granted, I do think that a lot of its sequels do stuff a lot better, mind you. Oh, post-credit scene.
Well,
There we
I'm
go.
not,
Oh,
I'm
I
not-
didn't know about that.
There's
I
a
don't think
quick
I've-
shot of.
Well, nah. There were all sorts of bits. There were footage of cars and that.
There's also a scene of Dom driving off somewhere.
To Tokyo?
I think so.
Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. It may not be as fun as some of its sequels, but it's still a pretty good. Well, yeah, I'd say as a 2001 movie, it still holds up well. It carries. It is definitely one of those time capsule films. What's a time capsule film? It's a time capsule film that takes everything you remember about the early 2000s and makes it feel extra silly back then. Like, to think, back then, a lot of the stuff we see there was not considered that silly. Whereas nowadays, oh boy, do we laugh at ourselves, don't we? Yeah. I mean, it's nice, it's fun. That ending though is the ending is way too abrupt. I feel it definitely needed some more fleshing out here and there. Some of the characters do kind of just come and go, admittedly. The plot does feel a bit on and off with its focus here and there as well. But overall, it still manages to contain itself in a good enough popcorn flick. I'd say in terms of okay, it's definitely something you want to watch if you want to get into this series. And I'd say at worst you only have to watch it once. So even if you don't like this one, you just need one watching of it. And it's not something I'd say is even really bad, honestly. Like, trust me. If you held a gun to my head, I'd watch this film no problems.
Okay then, is that it?
So yeah, The Fast and the Furious. Pretty much a good start. Not flawless, mind you. Oh, it has loads of flaws in it. But it sets the groundwork for the film franchise to come.
So we'll see you next time for the sequel, Too Fast, Too Furious.
And yes, that's what the number 2 put there.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine how would they have worked in the number 3?
Oh, here's that end credits scene. Oh, Baja,
Baja.
Mexico. In Mexico.
Is it a sequel hook?
How did he manage to get past border security?
He's dumb, Dwibs. He's just that awesome.
Dom's,
Also, Sheree,
Dom's
yes,
also
this
the name of a guy around here who usually hosts property fraud shows.
Because remember, I clicked off the video, so I didn't think there'd be an end credits thing. So
Well, Sheree, it's a sequel hook, sure. Although kind of awkward, seeing as how the sequel doesn't include Dom.
Or indeed any of the cast here except for Paul Walker.
I'm guessing it's a case of predicting a sequel too early.
Yeah.
This happens.
It does.
And it's exactly why you shouldn't predict your own sequels.
Hey, look at the bright side. At least by, like, in the 2010s, we would eventually get Fast and Furious 4. Or was that 2009?
2009 was the 4th one.
Ah. Well, hey, so yeah, well, 8 years from now, we finally get a proper sequel to this movie with Fast and Furious 4.
Or Fast and Furious. Anyway, see you for Too Fast, Too Furious.
See ya.
Yeah.